What's up, Brianna? How you doing? Wise feminine in the house. How you doing? It's a good time. I caught you on lunch break, huh? It's good. Well, so you out to do your workout. All right. That's what's up. Uh, okay. So we'll go ahead and get started. I was hoping some more people would be on because I wanted to do a little game, but you know, we got two deep thinkers on here. So I'm sure y'all can help me out. So you're scrolling down your search page on YouTube. You're looking for something to look at. YouTube already knows that you have an interest for certain videos. And so it might throw up suggestions that some of them it will assume will be in the ballpark of what you into. So I'll throw out one and let's see what y'all throw out one. Chosen Ones. Have you seen those videos? Chosen Ones. That's a popular one. Let's see another one. Something the narcissist. The narcissist didn't want you to find this out, or something the narcissist. Light workers. It's another one. Light workers. Empaths. Empaths. And I mean, we can go on and on. Spiritualists. Oh my God, vegan lifestyle. Vegan lifestyle. That's a good one. And you got the common ones. Manosphere, alpha males. But and I know, y'all can post them as you think of stuff. But what's interesting, and I'm not saying this to make light of any of these titles or what sincere people who associate with them, not to make fun of them or mockery of them, not at all. But I'm looking at the big picture of you got to have a title. You got to have what group am I in? And it makes me think about the movie Divergent. I haven't seen all three. I think it's 3 or 4 of them. Insurgent. I can't remember the other 2. But when I watched Divergent, what really grabbed me was that it wasn't so much you choosing the right group to be in. It was about you having a group. Because if you didn't have a group, then you really were considered dangerous. Let me see what y'all said. Brianna said, interesting. I pretty much just search what I want and don't pay attention to the suggestions. Wise feminine. I've noticed that I don't fit into specific groups. I take what I need them. Yes. And that is what they were trying to show is the divergent in that movie, which is the most, according to the movie plot, were the most dangerous people were those who didn't fit into any of the predetermined groups. You know, for me, at this age, you know, I've talked about myself at different times about some of my travails and things. And the whole thing of not feeling like coming up that I actually had a group. And I mean, I'm not, and it's ironic because my chart is pushing me towards relationship and not just romantically, but with people. And at times I've tried to fit into people's systems and things of that nature. Young E, what's happening? And I found that if I'm not one of the primary vehicles of setting up the system, then it's hard to fit in. And I know that could come off as negative or egotistical, but that's not what I mean. I mean something as simple as, let's just take like you and I was trying to, when I was competing in bodybuilding, you know, there was this phenomenal trainer that I knew and worked with, but he was he was just a horrible human. Lied all the time, always conniving, and you just never knew what he was up to. And I worked with him one time. I was like, I ain't fooling with him. And I went back. I was like, you know what? I'm going to try to just humble myself and go with the program. And I couldn't stomach it after a while because it didn't align with who I am. You know, I can't imagine living a life where I don't even know when I'm telling the truth. I lie so much. You know, I don't even know when to take me serious. It's just hard, you know. I've tried to, here in Dallas, let's say like 11, 12 years ago, I used to try to go to some of these quote unquote conscious bookstores. And man, you walk in there, they're looking at your shoes. I started noticing like, oh, okay, if I'm supposed to be conscious, then I can't have no Jordans on. Or I can't have my shoes matching my shirt, which is, you know, natural to me. You know, I don't worship clothes, but I got my own style, you know? And you go into places and people looking at you and I start noticing. And I started trying to dress down so I could fit in. And you know, you can't talk about certain things, you know. You know, you gotta stay in a certain wheelhouse, and it wore me out. And as I sit back and reflect on all this, you know, I say, oh, all my life, I've seen the difficulty of trying to fit into somebody's system. And not that I'm against systems, not at all. But a lot of times when you're trying to fit in somebody else's, maybe a better word is their world or their view of the world, it requires you to pay a price that probably ain't worth paying. And so now the internet is heavily driven by tribalism. What tribe are you in? And if you're part of this tribe, you talk a certain way, you denounce certain things, you dismiss certain things, you champion certain people, it's very tribal. This tribalism has its place. But if I'm looking to expand myself, then it might not always be the best route to take as far as going along with the crowd. The other problem that can arise is that what you say you are against, you may become. Prime example, or maybe not even what you against. You may become the lowest vibration of what you say you are. What do I mean? If you're constantly talking about a narcissist and how narcissists act, and watch out for the narcissists, and the narcs don't want you to know this, and this is why the narcissist, at a certain point, doesn't that make you a narcissist? Doesn't it make you a narcissist if you're always a victim? If you're always constantly highlighting the flaws of another set of people, doesn't that mean that your focus at a point stays on them? And if you keep focusing on them, isn't it just natural that you start to adopt some of their qualities? Or in your vehement stance against what they represent, do you become them? You are what you eat. That's right. Even if you're constantly calling yourself an empath, does it become egotistical because you start wearing that as your banner? Back in that era, 10, 11, 12 years ago, I wanted to wear the banner of I'm conscious. So I would wear these, the medallions and all-seeing eye and the pyramid, because I wanted people to know when I came around, that brother deep. And I feel so silly about that right now. So silly. But life is a constant growing process. But that in itself is kind of juvenile, when you always have to name what you are versus being what you are. If you are looking to bring light into the world, then maybe it's more important to bring the light than announce that you are a light worker. If you have this deep feeling and sense of connection with those around you and the world at large and the cosmos, maybe it's better to understand that connection and work on protecting yourself and cultivating it than it is to spend time screaming from the mountaintops that I'm an empath. Oh, you're one too? All right, let's have an empath barbecue. You know, maybe instead of constantly focusing on the narcissist, maybe focus on yourself to make sure that what you say is the most vile thing in the known world, you don't become. On the podcast, when we were doing the podcast, we kept talking about individualism. Individualism has always been, well, I'm going to say especially now, has always been ultra important, because when it's all said and done, you can only control the energy that you cultivate and put out. And so if I focus on mine, then, and it being as developed as it can be, that I have done my work. Now, mind you, I get in my bag. I go out here and I look at the savagery around me in the world, and I do get in my bag because it does affect us. Because when the person's going down my street doing 70 and run a red light, if I had made one false move and wasn't paying attention, and I got my whole family in the truck, that could have been a fatality. So, yeah, I ain't walking around here with blinders on, and I do get frustrated about, how other people behave relative to the fact that it does affect all of us, or it could possibly. But when it comes to the internet and making that your talking points, it seems like it can detract from you doing what you're supposed to be doing yourself. And then the people who, as Brianna say, who eat this and digest this, it can be disruptive and unproductive in their own life. Because if I'm constantly looking at you, I ain't looking at me. Well, I got 1 minute and 10 seconds. Peace, wise feminine. Enjoy the rest of your day. Appreciate you tapping in. I'm about to wrap it up too. So peace, Young E. Peace, Brianna. As always, stay down till you get up. You get up, stay down. Holla at y'all.